Hello, welcome to Library Connection. I'm Mandy Cantor with the B.B. Comer Memorial Library here in Sylacauga. I want to thank everyone at TV 47, Chris and all the crew, and I want to especially thank our sponsor, First Bank of Alabama. Thank you so much for sponsoring this show. Today I want to talk about something dear to my heart, some people that I have just gotten involved with this past summer, and that is the people at Coosa Valley Hematology and Oncology. And Terri Vaughan is their director. Thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me today, Mandy.
I've known you for a while, and so I just am so impressed with what your staff does, and we'll get into that in a minute. But before we do, tell us about yourself, Terri.
So I am the director of hematology and oncology at Coosa Valley Medical Center, and I've been there for almost 9 years now as the director initially, and then also as a nurse, and now as a new nurse practitioner. I've worked in cancer care for many years as a director, almost 15 now total. And my connection to oncology is very personal, as you know, and we'll talk about that. I was diagnosed many years ago and have walked that journey, so it's very near and dear to my heart. It shaped who I am, both personally and professionally, and that experience truly drives my passion to take care of patients in a way that provides kind and compassionate care with personal and honest and be filled with hope.
Yes.
So.
Well, I can tell you I only had 4 treatments this summer, but your staff is phenomenal. They make you feel very special. I never felt like I was just a number. They were very personable. Even the girls who are in the office taking appointments and things, so kind and so nice. In fact, before I started my treatment, somebody said, "Oh, Mandy, you will love the people there. They're so nice." They said, "I really missed going to see them." I didn't miss the reason I had to go, but I missed seeing them when I finished having treatments. So what makes them so special? Or that's kind of a big question, I don't know.
Well, you kind of said part of it in what you were saying is that they truly do take their job seriously, but it's not just a job to any of us. I believe that oncology nursing, I believe nursing in general is a calling.
Yes.
I believe oncology nursing truly is a calling that you have to love what you do. And I believe that my staff truly they're the best. I think they're the best at what they do. They understand that it takes a different approach with cancer patients, and from the time that our patients walk in the door, it sounds like a trite slogan, but it truly is the truth of how we approach it, in that you become family to us, and we want to treat our patients as if they were family members. We've had patients that have walked away and they're sad when they leave because it becomes a kindred spirit between everyone. They connect with other patients that are sitting in the room with them. But the staff truly, I believe that each one, and you mentioned from the front desk all the way back to the lab staff, they're just the best. They understand that it takes a softer touch, it takes a personalized approach, and it takes everybody coming together for one common goal, and that is to take care of that patient, the whole patient.
Wow, well they do a great job. And let's go ahead and bring up those slides of your staff. And while he's getting those, where is your department located?
So we are located in the professional office building that's across the street from the hospital. Many know it as the Craddock Clinic. We are on the 3rd floor in Suite 303.
Okay, good. I don't know if Chris has those slides. If not, we'll look at them in just a few minutes. But I know the staff, like I said, I can't say enough good things about those. And who else works there? I know you've got nurses and things like that. Who are the doctors?
We do. So we do have chemo-certified nurses that work there. We have lab technicians, front office administrative staff. We have financial counseling services there as well. But I want to talk a second about our providers that we have, because they are incredible to us. We have 4 full-time physicians and a nurse practitioner. We have our senior provider, Dr. Alan Yielding, that has serviced the Sylacauga area now for 29 plus years.
Oh,
I think that's actually over 30 years now at this point.
Right.
Then we also have Dr. Mark Bridges, Dr. Khalil Ashraf, and Dr. David Mooney. Those are our 4 physicians. And then we also have a nurse practitioner that we brought on about 3 years ago, Miss Stacy McGrady, who ironically enough, many years ago was a chemo nurse at the clinic, and she left to go back and get her nurse practitioner degree and having her to come back has been kind of like a homecoming.
Yeah.
I know for her, and as well, we've still got patients that are being treated that remember her.
Yes.
So having her there has just been an added bonus to having her come back and join our team as well. All of our staff, including our providers take the same approach. You understand this
Yes.
from the patient standpoint, that we truly do treat those patients as family when they come in,
You do,
which makes
yeah.
all the difference to what we do.
That is true. That's true. And I can tell you, I always felt like I could call if I had a question. I mean, I called somebody on the 4th of July
Yeah.
for just a small question. I said, I have this going on. What? She took the time, and whoever that was. But anytime there was a question or anything, I could call, I could come by. Nobody ever acted like, I wish you hadn't come. It was always, how can we help you? And talking with, I think one time I went, I saw the nurse practitioner, and every other sentence I felt like was, you call us if you have a question. You call us if you need us. That was the whole time.
Absolutely.
So they're great. Yeah.
Yeah, and we're always taught, especially in nursing, that education is ongoing, and that we have to keep our patients well educated.
Yes.
Having a cancer diagnosis, and I know this firsthand as you do as well, there's so much information that is thrown at you very
yes,
quickly.
Yes.
And it's almost like a hose pipe or more like a fire hydrant.
Yeah.
So the education piece and making sure that our patients understand that we are available and we will always make ourselves available, whether it's a holiday, it's a weekend, it's after hours. We have people that are ready to serve and ready to step in to answer those questions for our patients.
Yes, I can remember going and they would go through everything. And do you have any questions? And Al and I both were like, you've covered everything. No. Oh, here's your staff. Here's some of your staff.
Oh, yes.
Who will it? Yeah.
Yeah, so those are all of those people except for the lady standing next to me there. That's one of our patients that had just rang the bell and had just completed, and all the rest of that staff, those are my nurses. The most fantastic team that we have. They are incredible.
Yes.
From start to finish, they're just great. But on the front row, from left to right, that's Crystal Green and Maria Whetstone. On the back row, from left to right, that's Carmen Brasher. That's myself. That's one of our patients. Then that's Shady Sherbert, Cindy Wilson, and Marianne Henry.
Goodness. Let's see what other slides we have. Oh. Maybe we'll may have to come back
That's
to those
fine.
in a minute.
That's fine.
Well, I can tell you, your website says your fight is our fight, and that's true.
It is
so
100% true.
Gosh, yeah.
We believe that, and I'll say more about this when we get to my part, but it's so important that patients understand that they're not fighting alone. We have a lot of patients that very thankfully have family support, they have friend support, they have community support, but we also live in a very rural area with patients that don't have access to the same things as others. They don't have family that come in with them. So we take that very personally when patients come in. We try to pick up on and recognize what their support system is and make sure that they understand that we are there for them. We become their family. We become their support system. So that slogan is not just a slogan. It's truly what we want to exemplify in how we treat our patients.
Well, listen, it's time. We're going to pause for a commercial break, and we'll be right back and talk some more with Terri Vaughan.
Remember your first car? The butterflies you had on your first date? Or your first home? Remember his first steps? Or his first day of school? Remember the thrill of opening your first business? For every milestone, every memory, every first, think First Bank of Alabama.
At Jacksonville State University, the journey starts with you. It begins with your ambition, your curiosity, your dreams. Here, you forge your own path. You have the power to make a difference, explore new horizons, and turn your passions into your future. At Jack State, we journey forward together. The journey starts with you.
Welcome back to Library Connection. I'm talking with Terri Vaughan. She is the Director of Coosa Valley Hematology and Oncology at Coosa Valley Medical Center. That's a mouthful there.
It is.
But now I know you provide other services besides just chemo, or just talk about the services y'all provide.
Sure. So we provide diagnosis and treatment for patients with, of course, all types of cancer, and then also blood disorders. So that's the hematology portion, and then the oncology portion is the cancer portion. So we offer, of course, all the chemotherapy, the immunotherapy, injections, and supportive treatments for cancer. And then we also do things like iron infusions. We treat patients that have immune system complications and do infusions for that as well. So we like to say that we deliver big city medicine in a small town setting right here in our community, to make sure that every patient feels cared for whatever they're facing.
Right. It was so nice to be able to go. My husband could take me. He would go home, work from home, and then come back and get me, because I was there a few hours. But I didn't have a long ride back.
Right.
That was nice. So it was
Right.
nice to do it here in town.
Yes.
Now I know October, we're both wearing pink.
Yes, ma'am.
October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
It is.
Go over that. And I know ladies have heard this over and over and over again, but you can't hear it too much.
No.
Having had breast cancer, yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So October is always a meaningful time for us. We see many breast cancer patients along with all the other cancers that we do treat. And this month is about celebrating the survivors and spreading awareness about early detection. Mammograms truly save lives, and we want women to stay up to date with those preventative services and those screenings, and then talk to their healthcare providers about any changes that they may notice. It's also equally important that as women, we understand our bodies and we listen to our bodies. Women should be performing monthly self-exams at home. No one's going to know your body better than you. So
That's
if you
true.
notice something that's out of the ordinary, you should be reporting those things to your healthcare providers, because again, early detection can make an enormous difference in your overall outcome. So the number one thing, as we've already mentioned, is the routine screening for mammograms. And then remember that breast cancer symptoms don't always present the same.
Right.
So just because you've had breast cancer, the other person may not experience the same things that you did. So that's why those routine mammograms are so vital.
Right. So they can detect it early by self-examinations and things like that. So,
Absolutely.
yes.
Mammograms are the gold standard. They don't always pick up things though. So anything noticed like skin changes, dimpling, any abnormal pain or redness or discharge, those things are not normal. So if those things are noticed, it's so important that women talk to their healthcare provider and point those things out. You know, the screening guidelines are at a certain age, but if you have a family history, then those screenings may start at an earlier age, and that's important also to recognize.
That's one thing I told my girl. I have two daughters, and I said, okay, your family history's changed.
That's
Go
right.
back and
Yeah,
tell them.
that's
Yes.
right.
Do you see a lot of breast cancer, or what kind of cancers do you see?
We do see a lot of breast cancers, but we do treat all types of cancer. We treat lung, colon, prostate, lymphomas, cervical, ovarian. We see a good bit of everything. And we also manage, again, the non-cancerous conditions such as the anemias, the low platelets, the clotting disorders. All of those things are treated in our clinic as well. Every patient is different, so every plan has to be individualized. And each plan of care has to be customized to the diagnosis and the treatment goals.
Right. That's one thing I learned, and I'm sorry, I don't mean to talk so much about my
It's
own
okay.
story, but I thought, oh, chemo, I'm going to have to do this for months and months, and I'm going to feel so bad. I did feel bad some,
Sure.
but I only had to have 4 treatments. And with, like you said, everyone is different. Every type of the cancer drug you take affects everybody differently.
It does, Mandy, and that's a very unique thing that you bring up, is that there is a stigma around chemotherapy and treatments for cancer, that just because Miss Smith over here had this kind of outcome, a lot of things that we see in families especially is they had a family member that went through a very tragic ordeal, and they don't want to do treatment, or they don't want to do certain treatments because they think their outcome is going to be the same. But no two outcomes are the same, and everybody responds differently. Your body responds differently. Your mindset about it, you know, how you approach it, all of those things hold hands. So no two outcomes are the same. So we try to encourage patients that even if you've witnessed a friend or a family member to have a bad outcome, you know, this is your journey. This is your process. So try not to get caught up in what someone else went through. So yours was very different than anybody else's. So try to approach it as, I'm an individual. My treatment is going to be individualized.
And things have changed. They've
Very
changed
much.
so much. I
Very
know.
much. Immunotherapy is one thing that has come such a long way that it's not like traditional chemo, and the side effects are different. It does have side effects, but it's not the traditional side effects to chemotherapy. So advancements in oncology care has come a very long way, and it's not the same as it used to be even 5 years ago, 10 years ago. It's very different.
I had folks say, you know, oh, I had cancer 10 years ago. I wish they had known to do this for me or to make it better. So
Absolutely.
That's great. Wow. Well, like I said, your staff is amazing, and they do a lot to help with
you.
their part of why you feel better. You provide. There's a TV in there.
There
There's
is.
warm blankets, pillows,
Yes.
snacks. Just you make
We
it
try
fun.
to, my staff has heard me say this many times, and they'll laugh when they see me say this, but patients that come to us are not on vacation. It is not something that anyone wants to be doing. As pleasant as we might be able to make it, there is no patient that wants to sit in a chemo chair and get treatment. So the least that we can do is to try to make them feel as comfortable as possible with the snacks, with the drinks, with the blankets. And we've got some outreach programs too that I want to give a little bit of a plug into.
Yes.
There's a couple of groups from Church of the Highlands that, and one of our local nurse practitioners, Tasia Bradford, that's in Dr. Davis's office, she's a part of that group. She may kill me for mentioning her, but they make, they homemade blankets, and they bring them to our patients with care bags and things. And there's another foundation called Venetia's Foundation. They're out of Oxford and
I'm familiar
Anniston,
with that.
and they put together care packages for our patients as well with all the things. This is from a sister that her sister had breast cancer, and all the things that you don't think about you might need when you get there. They try to put those packages together for our patients. So we've got some great partners as well that care about our patients. But it's the least that we can do is to try to make them feel comfortable while they're there.
And you're back kind of in the back, so it's private. I mean, no
is.
one else knows you're there, and you can talk to your people sitting beside you, or you can pull the curtain around. If you just say, I want to be alone, I want to pray, I want to read, I want to do whatever, you can do that too. So y'all.
You can. We've
taking
got
it-
patients that are incredibly private. They want the very back chair, and they want to pull that curtain around them, and we respect that. And then we have others that want to try to schedule their treatments on the same day because they've bonded.
They've made friends.
They've
yes.
made friends, so they want to sit together and they want to talk, and
Yeah.
that helps them to get through their journey. So it's very individualized. We try to accommodate every way that we can.
That's true. That's true. Well, we're going to pause for another commercial break, and we'll come right back and talk some more with Terri.
Remember your first car? The butterflies you had on your first date? Or your first home? Remember his first steps? Or his first day of school? Remember the thrill of opening your first business? For every milestone, every memory, every first, think First Bank of Alabama.
The Maxie Veazey Senior Adult Activity Center offers the senior citizens in the Sylacauga and surrounding areas lots of fantastic activities throughout the week. Sewing, ladies bridge, quilting, game-o-rama, ceramic classes, bingo, travel club, and lots more. It's all at the Maxie Veazey Senior Adult Activity Center located next to the J. Craig Smith Community Center in Sylacauga. Don't spend any more time alone. Get out, make new friends, and have fun.
The all-new Marble City Pharmacy in Sylacauga is your destination for the highest quality health care. Our remodeled and expanded pharmacy gives us the space to serve more patients. We've added a drive-through window for those times when you don't feel like getting out of your vehicle. And we still offer delivery within city limits. We feature a full line of over-the-counter medications and supplements. And don't forget our stunning new gift department. New building, same great people. Marble City Pharmacy, here for life.
Welcome back to Library Connection. I'm talking with Terri Vaughan. She is the director of the Coosa Valley Hematology and Oncology Department here at Coosa Valley. And tell me about your story now. I've heard part of it, but I want everybody to know your story.
So I am a 3-time cancer survivor, and I was not working in healthcare when I was diagnosed. I was 29 years old, so it's been a while back. It was a shock to the system, to say the least. And unexpected at that age. And about 3 years in a row, I had 2 recurrences following the first recurrence in surgery and treatments. I had a second recurrence within a year, and I had a third recurrence within that 3rd year. So about 3 years in a row, it was pretty tough. A lot of things that I learned from that journey, even though I was not in healthcare at that time and did not work in oncology at that time, I wish that I would have had people to tell me things that I needed to know. So that has really shaped me to be able to sit in front of patients now. I can sit in front of a patient and say, I know what you're going through, and truly mean that. I've sat in the chair, I've had the treatments, I've had the hard days, I've had the shock of hearing the word cancer that nobody's expecting, and you never get used to it. Right. But it's a special thing. I'm thankful for those hard days. I'm thankful for what I was it sounds odd to say what I was able to go through, but it truly allows me to connect with my patients now.
Yes, it does.
And it helps me to mold the kind of care that we want to give to our patients, to say, you know, we understand, but I truly do understand where they have come from. And I wish that I would have had people to sit in front of me to say the things now that I know to say to our patients. Right. You can't say, it's absolutely going to be all right. We don't know that it's always going to be all right, but there are things that we can say that will help guide them and comfort them. And just being able to have that empathy that I didn't once have, I can sit in front of those patients and say that now.
That does mean a lot.
It means a whole lot.
And you have gone on, you're working on your PhD, is that correct?
Working on my doctorate right now. Yes. So I felt very strongly about being able to provide a level of care to patients at a higher level. I wanted to be involved in ways that I was not able to be involved just as a director or just as a nurse. So that's why I became a nurse practitioner. I was able to finish that over this past summer, and now I am working on a doctorate at this point.
Wow, you are driven.
I'm driven. That's driven or crazy. I'm not sure which one.
No. Now you had a couple of other things you wanted to mention.
I do. You had asked earlier about patients and how they respond, and we have patients that when they walk away and they're done with treatment, they come back and they'll bring us treats, or they'll bring us flowers, and that tells me that we have done what we were supposed to do. Yes. When patients are sad to walk away and leave from having treatment, that lets me know that we've done a good job of what we were supposed to do for them. And then I cannot, I can't go on without saying about our foundation at the hospital. The Coosa Valley Foundation has been incredible to our patients. They have stepped in numerous times to help us with patients that were struggling in different ways. Can't disclose all of those things, but they have done things all the way from helping with financial things to groceries to all sorts of different things when our patients are struggling during their time of being treated with cancer. That also holds hands with the Bruce Pearl Foundation that works hand in hand with our Coosa Valley Foundation. Our bell that we have in the clinic that you are aware of and got to ring is very special. The Bruce Pearl Foundation worked along with our Coosa Valley Foundation to put that in place. So just a special thanks to both of them. But our Coosa Valley Foundation is just really a rock for us, and can't say enough good things about how they support the hospital in general, the community in general, but especially our cancer patients. So we're very thankful for them.
Wow, I know I've seen some of their little bits now. They have a video of someone sharing, and the lady who was the first cancer treatment patient or whatever you
To ring the bell.
Yes,
Yes.
that was wonderful.
Yes, and I know she doesn't mind. We have full permission from her to talk about her story. That was Miss Tracy Edwards, and she had a very long cancer journey with some very hard times, and we've been there with her throughout that entire journey. She was the very first to get to ring the bell when it was installed in the clinic. It was just a really special moment for her, so we were very happy. She's also done one of the videos with the foundation that can be found on our Facebook page, where she gave her testimony to it. We had another one, Miss Kelly Cates. It's actually a nurse also. So y'all go check those out. They're very special, very, very sweet stories that they've shared.
They are good. I've seen a few of them, and they're very good. Well, you have a great staff. We have a great hospital here.
We do.
Not just for cancer, for everything.
For everything, and I think it's a wonderful thing that the community has, Coosa Valley Medical Center. We are very blessed to have this organization right here. Part of our slogan that we've had for many years is care close to home, and that means a whole lot, especially for our community. Again, I stated earlier that patients can't always get to Birmingham or to Montgomery. Those are the two closest places to go, not just for cancer care, but for other things. So we're truly blessed to have this organization here in our community and be able to provide the services that we do.
We are blessed. I mean, we've got another minute and a half or so. Any other things you can tell us? I mean, we talked about how to detect breast cancer, but how do we know what to look for, not just for breast cancer, but for any kind?
Well, the key things,
That's a
number
big
one,
question,
is
I know.
definitely listening to your body and reporting things, going for those preventative care things, whether it's a colonoscopy or if it's just your routine annual exam, lab work, and things like that. We live in a very fast-paced world where we don't slow down often enough to listen to our bodies and to pay attention to what's going on. Colon cancer is a big one that we say often that no one should die of colon cancer. There's a lot of signs and symptoms that come before getting that diagnosis, but we are really, really bad to pass those things off and not do the hard things. No one likes a colonoscopy. It's not a pleasant thing to do, but it saves lives. And it is also an early detection preventative measure that can be taken to catch those things. So don't ignore your body. Speak up when something doesn't feel right. Keep those annual exams with your primary care providers. Nurses and healthcare providers, I think, are some of the worst patients a lot of times, but you know, we have to practice what we preach as well. But do the preventative measure things, do the colonoscopies, do the annual lab work, follow up with your providers, pay attention to your bodies and report anything that seems off.
That's true. Well, that's very good advice for all of us. Don't skip those important
Do
things.
not skip them.
Well, Terri, thank you so much. And tell your staff, too, how much we appreciate them.
I certainly
and
will.
Appreciate everything
And
you
thank
do.
people like you that entrusted us with your care. It means a lot to us that we know that patients have a choice. So we're very thankful for the patients that come and choose us to allow us to be a part of your journey.
Well, it was a great joy for me. Thank you so much for joining me on Library Connection.